Cambridge I'm with Sean is a Weirding Way Media podcast.
It's food and fun in a box.
And now my son, Boogie Boy.
If I had a tiny microphone stuck inside my heart, it would amplify my love for you. But the words get stuck in my throat. The words get stuck in my throat.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Cambridge I'm with Sean, a podcast by two weird guys about the weird stuff that they like. And we have been doing things a little differently recently, so we're doing something different today as well, although we do this or have done this for our holiday episodes. And we are just going to talk today about the stuff that we got. What did you get? What did I get? What did we get?
What do I get? Oh, what do I get?
I'm sure that's the most exciting stuff for all of y'all, but whatever. This is our show and we're going to do what the heck we like.
Yeah, we're going to do what we want. And I know since the last episode aired, we've racked up dozens of new listeners. So we're real excited that everyone's on board for the weird stuff us weirdos like.
The reason we're doing this, though, is because we recorded two special guest episodes, one that's already released with our pal Jeff Martin. That's out. You can listen to it. 2 weeks later, we recorded another one with our friend Dan Davis from the Dungeon Dive, and you will get that as our October episode. And so I kind of realized with that and the David Lynch episode that we're going to be spanning a wide gap here.
Yeah.
2 or 3 months where without a regular episode where we talk about the things that we got. If we did it on a regular episode, it would take up way too much time. We're just getting from mid-May to yesterday out of the way here.
Yeah.
What did you get?
What do I get?
It's a catch-up episode.
If that's not your thing, just don't listen. I don't know what to tell you. Apparently Ronnie is Mr. Moneybags because he has twice as many things as I do to talk about. So he'll talk about 2 things and I will talk about 1. I also have, along with the physical objects that I have purchased, I have 3 updates to talk about, or 3 things that relate to topics that we have talked about.
Yeah.
I have talked about, or we have both talked about. I know one of the things is something we're both very interested in.
Yeah.
I have not seen them yet in stores, but I'm hoping to soon. And we'll get
I
to
haven't
that.
either.
Yeah, we'll save that for the end and get into that. And
Yeah.
hopefully by the time this airs, we'll have seen them and gotten them. All right. So let's stop with all the gobbledygook and get into this. Ronnie, give us your first
2.
things.
So for people who are regular listeners, Jeff Martin, some of this stuff is repeat.
The only regular listener, apparently.
Don't we have some listeners in Europe?
I think maybe. I don't know if they are sticking around or not. But,
Are they real?
Yeah. That's another good question.
Yeah. If we sound bitter, we're not bitter. We love doing this, and that's all that matters to us. It's just really cool when someone does listen in, and that's amazing. I will say that some of this stuff has been talked about. Actually, most of this stuff in some capacity has been talked about over on the Skelevator YouTube channel. Of course, some of the stuff that has been mentioned, hinted at least in our previous discussions here too. The first thing that I got, so we're going back to early May. The first thing that I got was something that I pre-ordered about a year and a half previous to it showing up. And every once in a, what was that?
I said, geez.
Yeah, well, this is kind of a special item. Every once in a while through my YouTube channel, some people in the community are starting their own toy line or starting new projects, and they put these things up on Kickstarter or wherever they put it, GoFundMe and things like that. A friend that I met through the Skelevator channel, Matt Rodriguez, who's a fellow Masters of the Universe fan, He did some collaborative work with Four Horsemen Studios. This is a toy company, independent toy company that has made some amazing things. And for Masters of the Universe fans, you know who Four Horsemen Studios is. They did the 2000X Mike Young Productions Masters of the Universe figures in 2002. He's been writing comic books and he's an illustrator. And he thought, well, I'm going to make some action figures of this comic book series, Armies of Ashmore, which are these dinosaur warriors. They're not that cheap. I mean, not that affordable. Not cheap is not the right word. They're not that affordable in that this is a artifact of unique significance. I pre-ordered one. I really wanted to go for the whole collection, but I just couldn't. Mark's calling me money bags, but I wish. I got this one figure. He's a blue Triceratops, and his name is General Ceros, Cerros. He's a huge figure. He's about almost 10 inches tall, solid plastic. The sculpt on him is amazing. And I do know, for those of you who out there listening, if you're interested in these highly detailed action figures, that's a new character line, something made by independent artists outside of the realm of these big toy companies. Matt Rodriguez's line of toys, Defenders of Eden, Armies of Ashmore. All you got to do is type those words in and it'll pop up. And I think he is selling stuff through Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. Maybe not Entertainment Earth. I talked to him last night, and he's actually got some more things going to be popping up for people who do want to get on board with something like that. It's an amazing toy, and I did a review on my Skelevator channel. And then another gentleman that I talked to last night, Curtis Ackerman, he's got a YouTube channel called Art by Ackerman, and he does customizing, and he goes on these little road trips every once in a while for his work, and he ran across this Super Friends McFarlane Toys Batman figure that's all red. It's in reference to an episode of Super Friends where they're evil versions of the superheroes. And this red Batman, just like, I've been looking for him and I hadn't seen him out there at Targets, and he found one and sent it my way. So those are my first two items. I love Super Friends.
Oh, yeah.
It's good stuff.
Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
But it's your first item.
My first item is something that we have talked about on the show. I'm going to be saying this twice, so apologies to you, Ronnie, because I did not get this from the Super 7 store. I got my Roosevelt Franklin reaction figure on Amazon. So no affiliate money headed your way from
That's all right.
Super 7, mainly because of the tariffs. Mainly because the last two times I've ordered something from them, it has sat in their warehouse for a week before they shipped it.
Yeah.
I can get stuff from Amazon in 2 days.
Yeah.
Without the tariff cost. So anyway, this popped up on Amazon. I had just done a search to see if they had him. And it was a pre-order, and it gave a date in late June or something for the availability. And I just happened to be on there to get my daughter a couple of blind box figures that she likes. One for her graduation and one when she helped me, the day that she helped me trim the tree that eventually tried to kill me. Mm-hmm. I had promised her, I'll get you one of those things on Amazon or whatever. Took her a while to decide. While I was adding those to my cart, he popped up as available. And I was like, well, I'll just add that now and buy him too. It was early. It wasn't the date that they had originally given. It's like, there's no point in not getting Amazon.
Amazon makes things so much easier. It's Prime. You don't have to pay for shipping. I mean, come on.
I hate doing it. I hate them. I hate Zuckerberg, but whatever. Right. I mean, I don't know.
Bezos?
Bezos. I do hate Zuckerberg too, but whatever.
Yeah. All those guys.
These idiots that are ruining the planet for their own benefit.
Legion of Doom. The Legion of Doom.
Oh, yeah. And they're all chuds. The shipping is the main thing. Getting stuff quick, and they haven't added any tariff costs. I don't know what. This made me think of something. I'll get to that in a bit. So I got the Roosevelt Franklin reaction figure from Super 7 via Amazon.
He's pretty adorable.
Yeah, I've got him standing right next to his Fisher-Price Little People version.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I got mine ahead of yours. So
yeah, you got yours when it came out.
right when it came out.
See, that's the other thing. I don't feel the need to do that for
Yeah,
any of
that's
this
good.
stuff. I don't. And that'll come up again on here. That used to be a problem with me, and I really try to avoid it, like actively try to avoid having to have something the second it drops.
For people who are interested in toys and stuff like this, managing FOMO is a real important mindset, because you can't let that stuff bully you into making decisions you might regret later on. And I've definitely had to navigate that, and it's hard. There are things that I see out there, I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. It's something I'm going to get to in just a little bit. But man, if you just push that patience button and just silence those voices in your head, you never know what you might find on clearance or on Amazon for a lower price later on, or whatever it might be.
Right.
Or somebody selling it on eBay 5-10 years later for a fraction of the price. All that needs to come into play. So FOMO can be real dangerous for folks like us who are interested in having these items.
Yeah, I think I've pretty much gotten over that.
Yeah, that's good. I still fall victim to this, and I pre-order things sometimes, and then I think about it.
Yeah, pre-order is not even in my vocabulary anymore, hardly.
Recently, I pre-ordered some things that were announced at San Diego Comic-Con, and then I canceled them like 4 days later, because I was like, do I really need another Castle Grayskull just because of a different paint application? No.
I'll get into the pre-order stuff in a little bit here. For another item down the road, but it's a different scenario and a dumber reason to not do it, but it keeps me from doing it. What's your next stuff, dude?
Sometimes the initial feeling we have about something is not true to ourselves.
Roosevelt Franklin.
So this is a good example. The next thing I got was a clearance item at Target, and I initially had wanted to get this just because they were different colorways than I had previously gotten before, and I really kind of liked the subdued colors for these items. There's a Stranger Things Masters of the Universe 2-pack that showed up on the shelves at Target. All 4 of us in our household are fans of Stranger Things. We've been watching it since the beginning. We try and catch each season as soon as it pops up. There's the Demogorgon Skeletor 2-pack and the He-Man Vecna 2-pack, and I was hesitant to get them, and then they went on clearance for like $6. This is an item that was normally $25.99 or something crazy. I picked up the He-Man and Vecna 2-pack, and then Aaron Davies, a friend of the Skelevator channel, he sent me the Skeletor Demogorgon 2-pack. That counts as one item, but that's an example of waiting, being patient, wait for the clearance stuff, and get it for a fraction of the price.
You royal boob.
The next item, I'm going to combine 2 items as well, because they were both on a trip, 2 separate trips with Jeff Martin to the antique stores. I ran across the Clash of the Titans Perseus figure, which I've had my eye on for a long time. Anytime I can run across a Clash of the Titans figure for a reasonable price, I get excited. I picked that one up for $15. And then the gentleman who ran the booth, he got to talking to us about it. And he's like, oh, I got some Star Wars stuff in the back. He brought out this box full of 12-inch Star Wars figures from 1978. And I got the Jawa for $20.
Nice.
The Jawa, he's like in immaculate shape, except for one hand is chipped. He looks great. He's got the cloth cloak. Those are the kind of rewards for people like us that are totally worth the wait. I don't know if you're perusing these things lately, Mark, but those 12-inch vintage Star Wars figures are not cheap. It was cool to find that.
It only comes up when I search for the Gentle Giant Jawa, which I missed out on. And I had FOMO for that. Didn't buy those when they were a decent price.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, no, that's a good deal on that. $20 for a vintage figure of that size for any line is a good deal, really.
For sure. I mean,
regardless of what eBay says or whatever, regardless of what, I mean, maybe they're not that expensive, but $20 for a 50-year-old or a 40-something-year-old toy that's in good shape is a deal.
It's a deal. Navigating between eBay deals and in-person deals and talking to store owners, and none of that exists when you buy stuff new right off the shelf. You don't get the opportunity to navigate or make deals or measure one price against another. And maybe that's the theme of today's episode is patience. And clip in Guns N' Roses Patience now.
Patience. I don't know her.
You don't know that song, Patience, by Guns N' Roses?
I probably do. I mean, I had a couple of their albums when I was younger, but it's not ringing any bells. I'll give it a listen.
Yeah.
Said woman, take it slow. Things will be just fine. You and I'll just use a little patience.
So what's next on your list?
This is a new toy. I still hold a place in my heart for Japanese toys, designer vinyl, that area that I got into pretty heavy in the early 2000s. Blind box figures and stuff, even though they're very frustrating, which is the case for my little story here. But like many things that I discover these days, I was going through the Explorer section of Instagram. I saw a post about this little burger guy.
I love them.
A little burger figure, and I was like, oh, who made that? So I clicked on it, looked, sussed out the designers or the makers of the toy, and I thought, okay, well, I'm never going to see these. This is Japanese. I'm not going to try to navigate foreign sites to get something like this.
Right.
So whatever. Looked it up. I think I did a initial cursory eBay search just to see with the name of the, keep wanting to call them food junkies, but it's junk foodies, and they're by Human Robot Toys. So I used those search terms and nothing came up at all. And then I searched just a general Google search. It just led me to like Instagram posts. And I was like, okay, sort of forgot about it. Then I got an email from a toy store in New York who I've bought things from in the past. I've bought Cleo and I stuff from them a number of times, and I get their mailer. I always take a little glance through what they have available.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the vinyl stuff is just out of my price range these days, $60 to $240 for a toy. I'm not doing. And I look at the blind box stuff out of curiosity for her and for me, scrolling through, and lo and behold, they had them.
Nice.
Didn't immediately purchase them because there's 3 figures. There's a little burger guy called Burgie. There's a little guy with a chicken drumstick head called Cheeky.
I love it.
There's a little guy with a box of fries as his head, and he's called Patati.
Aww.
Or Patati, depending on how you pronounce it.
Yes, you like potato, and I like potato.
They're all cute, but of course I want the burger guy, right? And they're supposed to be zombies, I guess. They do a bunch of other different figures. They do them with heads that look like pieces of bread, like a croissant or just a regular slice of bread. And I kind of get it, but I think for me it's mainly the burger. And then they've got those Heathcliff eyeballs again, kind of like the lickety splits, which I
love
like.
it. So
I kind of hemmed and hawed because I'm like, I want the burger. I ordered 2 from them, and I put in they have a space for the note. I was like, well, I'll give it a shot. If there's any way to secure the burger, please do so.
Yeah.
I ordered them, and then here's a fun story, because on the last normal episode, I talked about my mail obsession.
Yeah.
Right? And chasing postal carriers down.
Chasing the mail.
Well, this happens twice. Supposed to be out for delivery. Mailman comes by. And I know this every day because they clunk down the lid on our box, and our box is on our house by our front door, and it makes the dog bark. So I always know when the mail comes. So I go out there, open up the box, no package. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Shameful.
So, like I said on that episode, they go up our street, cross the street, and go back down the other side of the street. So I flagged her down and I said, are you still delivering packages? Because sometimes they have a lot of packages to do on your street. They'll wait because they don't want to lug them all around. And then they'll drive to your house. And it's like, oh, yeah, I forgot my scanner. So I'm going to have to come back. And so I'm like, okay. About 10, 15 minutes later, it was on my porch. Open it up, open up the blind boxes. Got the other 2 figures.
Hey.
French fry head.
This is unheard of, right? I mean, you and I have had enough. We'll get to McDonald's in a little bit, but blind boxes can often be super disappointing.
Oh, yeah.
So you lucked out.
No, I didn't luck out. I got the other 2 figures.
Oh, I thought you said you got the other ones, the ones that you wanted.
No,
Sorry.
no. I got the chicken and the French fries.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn it. I'm not going to order again. I'm not doing this. So I forgot about it. It was really, and I kept feeling that pull to try again and ask more specifically, if you have an open box, can you send, I'll pay more, whatever. Forgot about that. I did search on eBay. I'm like, I'll pay double the price on eBay for a specific figure. So I looked on eBay and none of them were selling the burger for one thing, and they were selling the other 2, and they were all coming from, across the ocean for $40-something. So I'm like, no, absolutely not.
No.
Not even the burger. I'm not paying $40 for the burger. These are $8, $7 figures. So I kind of forgot about it for a little bit, and then I kept getting that pull.
Oh, yeah.
So I did another internet search for them, and a different toy store that I've purchased from once before came up, and they had them for $2 cheaper. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try it again. I'm going to buy 2 more and see if my luck holds, not holds out, if I get lucky.
Right.
So they come, same scenario though, with the mail. I had to chase down, and it was a different carrier. Out for delivery. He stops by, nothing. So I do the exact same thing. Hey man, are you still delivering packages? Oh yeah, I've got a bunch on the truck. I'm getting to them. Open it up. Exact same figures.
Oh, God.
Now, here's the thing about that. So there's only 3 figures, but there's 2 colorways of each figure.
Right.
I didn't even get different colorways.
Blind boxes.
I'm like, well, whatever. I gave them to Cleo and Carlita. I'm like, which one do you want?
That's nice.
You take the chicken one, you take the French fries, whatever. We've all got some now. So that's not the end of the story, because a little while later, I went back to the original place, who I have ordered from in the past, and I explained what happened. I said, I've ordered 2 from you, ordered 2 from another store. I really just want the burger. Is there any way you can send me that? And I had given a note to the other store too, like, please make sure one of them is the burger if possible. Somebody messaged me back. They emailed me back and said, well, we have one in the store. We'll just send you that one. Just make a note, send the store display burger figure, and just order from the site. So I did. $30-something later, I got the burger, and I was like still nervous of, it shipped quickly and got here, and I didn't have any, it just got delivered this time. And I'm like, I'm going to open it, and the person's not going to have read the note, right?
Yes.
I mean, it might not be the same person.
Yeah.
No, so it was the burger. And
thank goodness.
The weird thing was, though, the second place that sent them, they were gachapon balls. They sold them in both ways, in blind boxes like you would see in a store on display, and then in gachapon balls that you would go and put your coins in and buy. And this is exactly why I hate blind box stuff.
I was super tempted when I saw the new colorways of the Yip Yip aliens from Sesame Street and the blind boxes, and I really was thinking seriously about getting one and to see if I'd maybe get the bright green Oscar the Grouch. I'm just not doing blind boxes anymore. Unless I come across like a super great deal, they're on clearance for $3 to $5, and I'm not doing that. It's too much of a gamble, and it's very rare that I get the thing that I'm hoping for.
Yeah, it's super frustrating, and I suffered through that a lot because of these kinds of toys. And unless you really don't care which figure you get, or you're interested in all of them, then it's a big gamble. I used to actually buy cases of Bear Bricks and Kubricks from Tower Records, because they would sell them on their website. This was early 2000s, mid 2000s, because then you're going to get all of them. You're not going to get every like super rare chase, but you're going to get all of the regular figures and a good handful of the rarer figures.
Yeah.
And they were selling them for a decent price. So it's like, well, why go through this what am I going to get thing? I'll just buy a whole fucking case of them. So I have dozens and dozens of Bear Bricks and Kubricks packed up in a box over here.
In so many ways, gone are the days where toys are a good deal new.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can get into all that stuff, too.
Well, I have something I'm going to talk about in a little bit. Some toy companies are rebelling against this a little bit, which is kind of great. I was hoping that this would happen. in some capacity. New toys now are just going to be skyrocketing in price. That's unfortunate.
Well, that's one blind box story. We'll have more later.
Yeah, for sure.
Been burned and with both feet on the ground. I've learned that it's painful coming down.
What's your next 5 items, Ronnie?
My next 5 items are...
You don't have to do 5.
Actually, this is going to be 3.
No one's listening, so whatever. Do however
Yeah.
many you want. This is just
Jeff,
us
this one's
talking
for
to
you.
each other.
Yeah, exactly. You know about these. I talked about them on my YouTube channel, and I think I even talked about them briefly on here. Maybe not the first one, but the second one for sure. In May the 4th, there's a group of toy tubers that do May the Power of the Force series of videos, and they always invite me to join in. Last year I did Greedo, and then this year I chose to talk about Jar Jar Binks, and this is an example of being patient. When I first saw the Black Series Jar Jar Binks on the shelf at Target, it was like almost $30 new. I thought, oh, that would be hilarious, like a tongue-in-cheek purchase, and then talk about it on my channel. And Jar Jar Binks is such a difficult character to appreciate, but I've learned to appreciate him over the years for a variety of reasons. A year or maybe 2 years later, I decided to choose Jar Jar Binks for my May the Power of the Force for 2025. And I found really good Jar Jar deals on eBay. I got the Black Series Jar Jar Binks for $5.
Oh my God.
And the retro collection, if Jar Jar had come out in the vintage line, for the same price. So $10, I got 2 Jar Jars. That was fun. I watched the behind the scenes Imagineering documentary on Disney Plus, and there was a big chunk of information about the experience of Ahmed Best performing Jar Jar and all the shit that he went through.
Yeah.
I've really learned to appreciate his efforts as an actor playing Jar Jar and dealing with George Lucas asking him to be this cartoon version of essentially unacceptable depiction of how do I say this particular kind of character.
Missy called Jar Jar Binks. Missy, your humble servant.
There's mixed feelings about all that, but I definitely appreciate what Ahmed Best did for those movies, did for that character, and getting those action figures took me on that journey. And previous to 2025, I was always like, I can't watch those movies because of Jar Jar. And now I have a whole different level of appreciation for what happened with all that. What's next on your list, Mark?
Well, we're heading into June for me, so we're getting close to Father's Day, and my nephew, he kind of does what I did in my 20s, and he takes trips down to LA with his buddies and goes and sees movies and occasionally stays at famous people's houses. They were down there, and he sent me a picture and said, guess where I am? And it was the case in the Burbank Bob's Big Boy.
Oh.
I was like, oh, find some cool stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
And he's like, oh, there's lots of shirts here. And so he intimated that he was going to get me a shirt. And I said, well, just remember, keep it simple. I like simple and white, not black. And ended up getting me a Bob's Big Boy shirt. First one. Never had a Bob's Big Boy shirt till now. It's white, very simple design. I said, how much do I owe you? And he's like, don't worry about it. It's Father's Day gift.
Oh, that's cool.
Speaking of, I'll just mention this. For Father's Day, really the only other things I got were a couple of eBay gift cards, which will come up later.
eBay gift cards are the gift that keeps on giving until you run out of money.
Yeah.
Love that.
I still have about just a little less than $8 left on my gift cards.
Hey,
so
there you
find
go.
Something cheap to buy.
A vintage Happy Meal toy.
Yeah.
It's right around the right price range for that.
Yeah, pretty much. That'll come up.
Yep.
As everyone knows, we talked about Bob's Big Boy back on our epic Ad Icon episode. He is one of my all-time favorites.
It's so good. When you and Cleo visited me at work, you were wearing the Bob's Big Boy t-shirt, and that reminded me, like, first of all, I've never been to any Bob's Big Boys down south, especially not the main one one of these days, Mark, you and I got to go down there, check it out.
Yeah.
And go to Frank and Sons.
Yeah, and get a big boy and just be super happy.
Yeah.
And some swag. All right. What's up for you?
Since you just talked about Father's Day, I'll talk about Father's Day. Father's Day comes around and my wife's always like, what do you want? It usually ends up me like just getting myself something and then telling her, maybe you and the girls want to get this for me. This past Father's Day, I ran into something months previous, and it was something I absolutely wanted. I saw it. It's rare for me to buy mint on card toys, mint on card action figures, but Stinkor is one of my favorite Masters of the Universe figures, and I have fond memories of opening up that new Stinkor as a kid and smelling that patchouli smell. And this antique store in Visalia had a mint on card Stinkor at a reasonable price. I mean, reasonable for what it is. I splurged on that, and my wife agreed, like, yeah, okay, this is a good gift. I've already talked about that, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so. Not on here.
Not on here. I talked about it on my YouTube channel.
You royal boob.
Our oldest daughter got me a Mars Attacks Funko Pop from a convention in Arizona. She went to visit her boyfriend and picked that up for me for Father's Day, which is cool. This is one of those situations where Funko Pops satisfy the itch for things that you probably won't find in any other way. Or so this glow-in-the-dark exploded head Mars Attacks alien was real exciting. Love Slim Whitman, so every time I look at it, I think about that moment in Mars Attacks when they discover that the voice of Slim Whitman kills them. Brilliant. And I got myself a vintage Lando Calrissian in the Jabba the Hutt disguise too at that Visalia antique store.
Oh yeah,
for a very, very good price. With the helmet, that Lando figure is usually pretty expensive. Really excited to get him. I think I mentioned it on here, but I picked up a sipper cup from Disneyland. I had to get it on eBay, and it was of the Harold, the Abominable Snowman, and just absolutely love that thing.
Alrighty.
This Father's Day, I really went all out, and I spent more than I usually do. So I don't know what I was thinking, but I just went for it. I don't know.
That's an interesting way to do it, I guess. I'm just going to buy all this stuff for myself. Don't worry about it, guys.
Well, it's hard for them to buy for me sometimes. They don't want to go into the stores and buy me a Masters of the Universe toy, and I don't want to make them have to do that. So they're always the ones that are like, what do you want to get?
So what do you do? Give it to them to wrap up to give back to you?
My wife has done that, yeah.
Yeah. That's a good arrangement.
Sometimes I get surprise gifts, and that's nice.
Then you're never disappointed.
It would take a lot for me to be disappointed. They usually know what I'm interested in, even if it's something that is not toy-oriented. All right, what's next on your list?
I have this thing about completing the set of Cutie Fruity pencil toppers that relate directly to the Cutie Fruity Franconia wind-up toy walkers. Once I found out those things were designed exactly the same way, I was like, I need all 6 of those. Not of the walker. I mean, I'd like all 6 of the walkers, but that's never happening. But I need to match up with the little pencil toppers. So I had early on, back when we talked about that, I had gotten a small set on eBay that included the banana and the grape and the pineapple. Oh, and the orange and or lemon, whatever she is. She looks more like a lemon to me. And so the only one I really needed was Miss Pear. I had kept one on my list for a long time, and I think it eventually sold. Somebody bought it, and it was one of the things that I look for quite often on eBay, even if just to sort of upgrade like my grape or my apple or whatever. And so I was looking for a Miss Pear off and on for a while, and then found one that was with another Miss Orange or Miss Lemon, Miss Citrus, for a decent price. And I had the eBay gift card, and it had its little stem, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this. So bought that. While I was doing all that, it made me think about the connection, or what is the connection between the two completely different toys that are designed exactly the same way. And I remembered that I had first seen that Apple Walker wind-up figure on Dan Goodsell's Instagram page, TikTok Toys 2.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, I mentioned back then he's the guy that created Mr. Toast, and I did a card with him during the letterpress days and stuff. So I messaged him on there. I said, this is going to seem like a strange question, but do you have any idea how this apple that you have became those ubiquitous pencil toppers? This guy, if you look at his Instagram page, just all this old advertising stuff and catalog stuff, and I thought if anybody might know, what happened, like some guy left this company and went to this company and just kept his design, whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, I really don't have any idea. I'm not an expert on this. He directed me to go look at like Mark's toy company message boards to see if anybody there knew, because he felt like the Franconia walkers were a ripoff of some early Mark's walkers that were anthropomorphic fruits, which I have seen when I have done these searches for those wind-up toys. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. They're similar, but they're not, they're not the same designs as the little pencil toppers. So he didn't have an answer, and I haven't explored the Mark's thing because kind of seems like a stretch to me that anybody would know the lineage of a completely separate toy company's line that ended up turning into these weird little pencil toppers that everybody had. So
there might be some YouTube mini docs out there about this.
Oh, all right.
It's surprising what people explore and document on the YouTube.
This is true. I kind of feel like that would probably run across my feed. They're pushing all kinds of shit on me every day when I open up that page. I've never seen anything about when I have looked up Munch Bunch, quote unquote, pencil toppers. Google search has sent me videos on them, but it's just people talking about, oh, look, remember these? Yeah. Remember this? That kind of shit. I don't pay any attention to them. What's next?
You mentioned gift cards, and we were just talking about Father's Day, how I pick stuff up and then show it to my family, and they're like, okay, we'll give that to you, What's the difference between gift cards, where people get you that, and then you get to buy the stuff for yourself, or you getting it for them, and then they just give it to you? It's like, oh, you're getting the stuff for yourself anyways.
I wasn't dissing your arrangement. I'm not dissing your arrangement. If that's what you're taking away from that, I'm trying to understand how it works, because it's a good idea.
It is a good idea.
Wrap this for me and give it to me, and I'll be surprised.
On another trip to the antique store with Jeff, otherwise known as HP Brown Sauce Craft.
Yeah, I'm never saying that name. It's way too long. Sorry, Jeff. I am never saying your name.
HP Brown Sauce Craft.
I would never say it right. I couldn't do it. Can't do it.
It took me a while to get it. We were there. He spotted this, and I would have not noticed it for some reason. It was on its side. There was a lot of stuff on the shelf, and I would have passed by it. On the shelf at this antique store was the Probot, or the Probe Droid, the vintage Probe Droid from the Hoth, the Empire Strikes Back Hoth playset. There were a couple of Hoth playsets, but this one was the one with the giant laser cannon and the turret, with the Probot, or the Probe Droid, as I used to call it when I was little. The Probe Droid. It was $15. I had seen these on eBay before, and they're always very expensive. So another one of those moments where I was like, holy shit, that's a really good price. Of course, it didn't come with the playset. I picked up that Hoth Probot, and I was so excited. And then he and I were both talking about how now we got to find the playset, and good luck with that, because those things are always super expensive. And I found one for a really, really good deal on eBay. Yeah. It's a little bit warped, but that's probably why I got such a good deal. And that's something that I've been researching and I can fix.
Yeah, just boil some water.
Exactly. And I got a pot big enough for it. It's actually bigger than I thought it was.
Because it's a very simple set. And that Probot, does it have all its bits and bobs on it still? Because
it has its legs and it has its stickers. And that was the main concern.
Doesn't it have things that poke out too, though?
That are molded in.
Oh, good.
It's a pretty simple figure. The legs are all hanging off of little joints. You can't really articulate it, but they're all there. It's cool.
That shit gets broken pretty easily.
Yeah, that's true. I think it was late May, early June. I can't remember exactly when it was. My wife and I went down to Fig Garden. They had yard sales. For many of the houses, they were having these yard sales. I saw the sign when I was in Fig Garden previously that week. And so we went that morning and we were walking around. We didn't find a lot of stuff. I got a cool little bronze Roadrunner figurine for her. We were just about to leave. I saw this yard that was fenced in. You couldn't really see what was in there. And just a wild hair told me to swing by. And so I pulled over. I was able to pick up 3 vintage wall hangings. So the Sesame Street thick cardboard wall hangings for bedrooms, kitty bedrooms.
I can see Big Bird back there.
There's Big Bird, there's Bert and Ernie, and there's Oscar the Grouch. And it's like a marching band motif. They all have instruments and they're doing their thing. And they're not in very good shape, but they're beautiful. And I was super excited to find them. I got them for like $3.
Oh, yeah.
I found the Together book, which is a golden book, Sesame Street
classic
book, and love it. So I'm walking up to the table where these elderly ladies are sitting there, and I'm buying these things. They're like, "Oh, that's so interesting that you like that at your age, And so I'm talking to them about it, and they're like, "What are you going to do with these?" And I'm like, "Well, I collect them, and I have a YouTube channel, and sometimes I talk about Disney stuff, and I don't want to mention Masters of the Universe, but I did mention Star Wars because I knew they would probably get on board with that." And they're like, "Oh, that's interesting." One of the ladies was like, "I have a Disneyland ticket for admission." She didn't tell me what year it was from, but she said from back in the day. I was like, "Oh, cool. Are you thinking about selling it?" She was like, "I'll just give it to you." So she asked me for my address, and I gave her my address, and I thought, it'll probably be forgotten. But a week later, I got it in the mail with a nice little note. It's from April 1st, April Fool's Day, 1995, the year I graduated high school. It's somewhat faded, but it's a entry to Disneyland ticket.
Cool.
From back in the day. That was awesome. That was a really, really amazing, fortuitous stop.
Well, now you can flip it on eBay and get big bucks.
I don't want to do that. It was such a rewarding experience just chatting with somebody. They're like, "I'll send it to you. My kids aren't interested in this." I was like, "Oh, that's awesome."
Yeah. Then the kid comes home and was like, "Mom,
where's that ticket?
Where's that ticket? I was going to sell it. It's worth like $5,000.
I know, right? So what's next on your list?
Well, this is something I've never seen before in my life. Had no idea these existed. I have no connection to this company or this item, but I saw it in my Instagram Explorer feed and it caught my eye. I don't know if you remember these or not. Orkin, the bug company.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Call the Orkin Man. Those ads.
They're still around.
Don't risk it. Call Orkin.
Yeah, I guess I don't really ever see them anymore. But I mean, when I was growing up, that was the only pest control ads, like national ads I remember seeing. Apparently, they used to have a little, I don't even know if I can get you a good view of this or not.
What is it?
I'll have to send you a picture. So I saw it on my feed and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And it just caught my eye because it was a little plastic keychain guy. It kind of almost looks like the old Cracker Jacks prizes, when they actually had something other than tattoos in their stickers or rub-on tattoos.
A paper game.
Yeah. So when they used to actually have little plastic toys, that's what I was thinking of. That's what it reminded me of. And so what it is, it's a little bug spraying rig.
Oh, cool.
Anthropomorphic bug spraying rig.
Wow.
How are you going to do that?
Right out in a car, I happen to have some old overalls and a bug spraying rig.
The spout is on the top of its head, and so his arms are reaching up to operate the bug spraying rig.
I love this.
He's called Otto the Orkin Man.
Call Otto the Orkin Man.
So when I discovered this, I figured, it's going to be one of those things that are impossible to find or super expensive. No, there were like a dozen or so on eBay and all relatively cheap.
There you go.
And it was just a matter of finding one that wasn't all ganked up, but they all came with the little ball chain to, I guess, put on your keychain or whatever else. Or I guess if you're an Orkin man, you put it on your rig. I don't know.
Imagine you're like, I got this great idea. This is how we can get kids to tell their parents about Orkin. We'll create this anthropomorphic bug spray guy. This has got William S. Burroughs written all over it.
Yeah. And
say, Bill, do you think you could rub some of this powder on my lips?
Yeah. Sure.
That was the first thing that came to my mind. And then also the scene in Blue Velvet when he acquires the screen rig. So I did a little search, and Otto Orkin is the guy. That's the actual man's name who started the Orkin Company, which was at one time the biggest pest control company in the country. This was their little logo, and there's a few other items that they made. I think one of them was a bronze ashtray. And so those come up on eBay, but without the ashtray part, just the little bronze guy.
Mm-hmm.
And there are commercials with this little guy in them. That is what their bug spray rigs look like, apparently. The nozzle and the handle right on top of the rig instead of a tube connected to a thing like they are now. I don't know. It just fascinated me. And it reminded me a little bit of my Freakies guys. Or like something you would get at the gas station when they used to do that, when they used to have the little plastic dinosaurs and things like that. I think it was $5 or something. And since I had eBay gift card money, I went ahead and got him. And he's hanging on my
I love it.
Microphone.
I absolutely love that. That is so cool and such a weird idea.
I don't have any clue as to what they used, if they were promotional items or if they were just given to employees, rig bug spraying guys.
To be, this is not intended to be a pun for bug spray, but to be a fly on the wall in these meetings and hear the discussion surrounding, like, I know what will be great, but will allow us to get more clients. Little plastic bug spray guys. I mean, that's crazy. I love crazy ideas like this. Fantastic. What a find.
Companies used to do that kind of stuff, and they still do that kind of stuff in Japan. Like every company has a mascot in Japan, and guess what? Every one of those mascots has been turned into a toy.
Love it.
I mean, you can find just toys for the oddest things over there because they love mascots. I swear to God, everything has a mascot, and every mascot has its toy.
I love it.
That's the way the world should be.
Every mascot has its toy. Come on, America, get back in the swing of things. Bring back mascot toys.
I mean, seriously, bubble bath toy. Think about the stuff we used to have, Mr. Bubble, and kids wanted them.
Absolutely.
That's that insidious thing that we talked about with the cereal stuff back on that ad icon thing. But, you know, Mom, buy me Mr. Bubble because it comes in a cute bottle that looks like a figure. And you want that, and you're going to play with it in the tub, and Mr. Bubble's going to sell shitloads of bubble bath to kids because of it.
I mean, who's doing this, I guess, you know, now? McDonald's? Disney? Toys to sell products. Toys to sell amusement park tickets. What else? Yeah, we need more of that. Cereal monsters.
If you run an electric store, make a toy out of your Sparky the Electric figure. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm Otto the Orkin Man. Otto the Orkin Man. To control your pest, Orkin is best. Call Otto the Orkin Man.
The next thing on my list starts me down the path of the recent Ross visits I've been doing. It's always been in the back of my mind, a place to go find cool things. And the last 2 years, I've done lots of different trips. But recently, I feel like there's been more interesting things at Ross lately for some reason. As I talked about in a previous episode, finding the Migo, Wolfman, and Fly, and the Penguin was really exciting. Then recently, the last few times I've gone in, I've seen some really cool things. I found this Masters of the Universe figures recently, the Hordak cartoon collection action figure, and the Horde Prime. It's like a Horde Trooper, kind of like Masters of the Universe version of Stormtroopers. Found those for cheap at Ross. Right around the time that I find those, I came up with this idea for another sort of sub YouTube channel where I open up toys and don't talk. And so I started the Skelevator ASMR toy review channel early June. And so I've since reviewed a few of my new finds there where I don't really talk about them. It's the sounds of opening the toys and exploring those toys. I'll get to more of these in a little bit, but I've found some pretty significantly cool things at Ross lately. Those 2 Masters of the Universe figures, following close on the tails of finding those Mego figures, those Masters of the Universe figures were really exciting.
Cool.
You royal boob.
This is my second apology for not ordering from Super 7 with your affiliate link.
Come on, Mark.
I usually see these first on Instagram, and it's the latest Devo reaction figure.
Yeah.
This one got me super excited.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's not one of the, well, it is.
Yeah.
One of the members. It's not one of the member toys, though. It's not Bob 1, Bob 2, Mark, Jerry, or Alan.
Right.
It's the infantile spirit of de-evolution, Boogie Boy.
Yay!
And now my son, Boogie Boy.
And I was super excited. There's a couple of Boogie Boy items that I want that I can never find. And I don't like bobbleheads in any way, shape, or form, but there was a bobblehead done, I'm not sure how many years ago. Wade Krause has one. You know Wade, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It came up. I posted something on Facebook, and he's like, oh, I have this bobblehead. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. And even at the time that he showed me his, they were like $50. Now they're hundreds of dollars. So anyway, I've never really been able to find any Boogie Boy merch to buy. And so this was perfect. I did a search on Amazon. I think the minute I saw it, and it actually was on there, which I was surprised. But of course, it was a pre-order. So here's my little pre-order story that's going to be of no interest to anyone, including you.
Never know.
I couldn't figure out. I may have been on my phone. I just wanted to add it to my cart. I didn't want to actually pre-order it, and it made it seem like I could only do the pre-order, like I couldn't add it to my cart. And I eventually figured it out, but I didn't want to do a pre-order because I have to lock my debit card and my credit card because they have been hacked multiple times over the last few years. And so I have to unlock and lock them as I use them, and they're not in use. So I didn't want it to try and run my card.
Right.
If the pre-order happened prior to the date that they were giving, and then have it be declined because I've got my card locked, et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, okay, I'll just wait. It said July 28th was the date it was going to be available from them. With the Roosevelt Franklin experience in mind, I'm like, it's probably going to be sooner than that. It'll be July, but it'll be earlier. And so I would pop in every once in a while and see, and it kept saying pre-order July 28th, you'll get it the 30th and whatnot. And so one day when I was looking at it, it was available, but it had kind of an extended wait to ship. Like I could purchase it, but it wasn't going to ship out. And again, I know they don't run your card until it ships.
Right.
I was like, well, I'm still not going to do that. I'm going to wait. And I kept looking back and I thought, this will probably change as the days go by here to where it'll just be buy it today and it'll ship today, not buy it today and it'll ship in 2 days. So as I was refreshing every so often, it kept changing, and then it got down to where there was only one left. Take that however you want. Are they being honest or not? But would ship immediately. And so I was like, I went and got on there and went ahead and ordered. I had to unlock my card, and then I placed the order. I think they ran my card pretty much immediately, and then it shipped within a day or two.
That's nice.
Yeah, it showed up. He's awesome. I really wish they could have figured out a way to actually have it be a mask.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Which I think they could have probably done. I'm sure it would have added to their cost quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. You know what? They could have done this because I just saw on the shelf at Target a Lex Luthor 3.75-inch action figure, same articulation as Star Wars, just like reaction figures, made by a different company. I can't remember. Spin Master, I think. The Lex Luthor is the Gene Hackman Lex Luthor, so it's 1978's Superman. He comes with a wig, right? $7.99. All right.
Yeah.
So Super 7, I mean, I'm a fan of Super 7 because they are able to accomplish things that other companies maybe don't have the guts to do or are afraid to do or whatever it might be. Like they do fun things that we wouldn't have ever had before. But if another company can do that and give that kind of an accessory, a wig that actually fits on the bald head, Kenner did that with those masked figures, the Princess Leia Bosch and Lando Calrissian Return of the Jedi figures. It's entirely doable. It's surprising that they didn't do that.
Their Jerry figure comes with a removable
That's right.
top.
That's right. Absolutely.
So that's what I was thinking of. I would have loved that. And it would have been oversized, and that's fine because every other Boogie Boy toy that has a well, I can think of one. There's a little Japanese keyring figure that comes with a removable mask, and it's amazing. But he does come with a little microphone and this toy synthesizer around his neck.
I love that so much. That is so good.
So that accessory is pretty one of the cool. And this is the only one that I've busted out of his packaging.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I got to have him over here.
Yeah, you got to have him on your desk looking at you. That's amazing.
I probably told this story already when I talked about Devo, but it is Boogie Boy. It's spelled Bougie Boy. But
yes, that's right.
It's not a GIF thing. They were doing it in Letraset and they ran out of G's and didn't have any E's either. So they just used what they had and it stuck.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until sometime within the last 10 years or so. I always thought it was Bougie Boy.
I'm glad you got him because he's a great figure.
Yeah. So both of those were the normal retail price of $20 without tariffs. Amazon didn't impose a tariff on me.
There you go.
And that was the thing I was going to bring up about not necessarily tariffs, although that is a real thing, but I have been to 5 Targets in the last couple of months since our last normal recording, which was episode 29. Been to the Willow and Herndon Target. I've been to the Herndon and 99 Target. I've been to Bullard and Blackstone. I've been to Sean Marks. I've been to River Park. None of them have a decent selection of toys right now.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm really looking for is that Planet of the Apes NECA Ben Cooper thing. Don't have them. Other Targets do. I have seen it on Instagram multiple times. People are like, oh, they're showing up in Target now. Like, not ours. Not any of the ones I've been to. And I'm not going to keep going to them just for that.
Have you tried ordering it through Target online? I haven't tried that yet.
I don't think they do that stuff online. But
probably not.
Yeah, those specialty items are usually in-store purchases. You can't even like hold them to buy them in-store for the most part.
Yeah.
Super 7 stuff is completely wiped out. I have a feeling that's part of this whole deal because I can't imagine that a company like Super 7 or even NECA really, when you think about wholesale, you always, or as a younger person, I always kind of assumed, oh, well, the store's buying it for like 50% or less of the cost, right? Because that's how you make your money. But once I started doing letterpress and dealing with people who were making toys and even me trying to get places to stock my cards, you don't sell something for less than 50% of what you're going to sell it for. It's like the employee discount.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that Super 7, who charges $20 for most reaction figures, they're not selling their stuff to Target for $10.
Mm-mm.
They're probably selling it for $14 or $15. So Target's only making $5 or $6 on, maybe not even that much. And so I'm curious if that is part of why they're not in those stores, because now Super 7's profit margin is even less because of the tariff stuff. And so they're not going to sell Target a toy for even $16 that Target would then sell for $20, because they probably have, because of the tariffs, would have to sell it for more. I don't know. That ran through my brain as I've been exploring these Targets and stuff and not seeing any Super 7 things and very few new NECA things on the shelves.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. I know that in June, mid-June, I noticed that a lot of stuff was going on clearance at Target. So I'm beginning to feel like it, and I always forget that this happens around this time of year. They clear it all out. They bring in the new stuff for fall. And it could be the case there. I do know that they are still selling Super 7 stuff, but it's not stuff that I'm interested in. It's like their reaction Godzilla figures.
I haven't even seen those.
Yeah, I've been seeing those, but not any of the other stuff. And I haven't seen any of the blind boxes showing up. No more Sesame Street stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, that one wave that was that I asked about, like, where the hell did wave 3 go? And they're like, it's at Target. I'm like, never saw it at Target.
Never saw it once.
That's a Fresno problem.
I did see the alligator figure based on the animated sequence in Sesame Street from that wave. He doesn't have any resonance for me. For some reason, I never caught any of those shorts. I did see that alligator guy at the Target in Los Banos once, but that's it. None of the other figures. I don't know what's going on. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Man, it's not good, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Till we meet again, this is General Boy for Devo Incorporated. Duty now for the future. And now my son, Boogie Boy.
What's up next on your list, Guy?
You talked about marks earlier. I got the wild hair, the start searching on eBay, the early 1970s solid color Disney Marks figures. And I found this guy who was selling a bunch of these, some duplicates in different lots, small lots of these Marks figures. I found one grouping of 6 figures because I was thinking a lot about Jiminy Cricket recently, and I love Jiminy Cricket. He's one of my favorites. And Donald Duck as well is one of my favorites. So I got a lot of 6 Marks Disney figures. I got an orange Mickey, orange Goofy, pink Pinocchio, pink Jiminy Cricket, green Pluto, and green Donald. They are in immaculate shape. I got them for $15.
Wow.
That's an incredible deal. These are usually $20 a pop if you run into them at antique stores, at least, or on eBay. I was like, almost like this is a one and done collection for me. Like, if I run across any more good deals, some of the 7 Dwarves or Minnie Mouse or Daisy Duck or things like that I might be able to find out there. But that deal was spectacular. I could not resist it. I just love the bright colors. I love bright colors when it comes to toys, and I love the...
That's $250 a figure.
Yeah, ridiculous, right? I mean, it was an amazing deal. I mean, there was shipping, of course. I think it was like $10 shipping.
I try not to add that stuff up.
Speaking of money bags, I will say that I've got 5 Patreons, and they're paying $3 a month. And my YouTube channel accumulates about $100 every, just to be super transparent, $100 about every 4 to 5 months, which is not a lot.
Yeah.
What I do is I really try to put that back into the channel in some capacity. So I got that little microphone, I got those Marks figures, and I'm trying to be very careful about what I spend. As you saw with the Father's Day thing, I splurge every once in a while. This was just like a spectacularly good deal, and I love them. I have that Blue Wolfman that I've had for years that are Marks. There's just something about the basic design and basic colors that they use for the plastic, bright colors. It just really does something for me. Really excited to get that.
Whenever I see those, I just kind of want to eat them.
Yeah, they look delicious, right? They look like candy.
It's that kind of plastic. I rarely run into them. I think I sent you a picture when we were at the coast last year. I ran into was it a Pinocchio or a Jiminy Cricket at antique store in, oh shoot, now I forget the name of the town over there where all the roosters are.
Cocktown.
Yeah.
It is not Cocktown, but rather the quaint town of Arroyo Grande on the beautiful central coast of California.
Yeah, I see them every once in a while, and they're always way more than I'm willing to spend.
Yeah.
That plastic, though, is so appealing. The thinner parts are almost
transparent.
Yeah.
Like right now, I've got light shining through Jiminy.
Yeah.
He's kind of glowing.
So there were, speaking of those little dinosaurs that they used to give out or sell at gas stations, or you could get in a gumball machine at the grocery store, they were that same kind of plastic. And I had a little green one that's very similar to those Marks toys, green, that kind of electric green that I just absolutely loved. I've been looking for one of those forever. But that combination of the brightness, the translucence, and the candy look to them is awesome. And they're hefty. They're solid plastic for one thing. So they're hefty and they're 5 or 6 inches?
They're like 5.5 inches tall.
Depends on the character too. Some of them are taller.
Goofy's like 5.5 inches tall. He's like the tallest one.
The only thing I have are the knockoff Marvel figures like Spider-Man and Captain America. They did real ones, but those molds ended up in Mexico or something. So they're just like thousands of knockoffs. And I'm like, that's okay. I don't care. I
love the knockoffs. I love them. I
don't have a connection with Marks. I'm not like a Marks collector, so I'm not going to try and find, actual Marks toys. They were cheap on eBay, and I was going through my Marvel phase. So
there you go.
I picked up a set. Those Disney ones and any of the other ones that use those bright colors are just so eye appealing.
Jeff and I were talking about these and how cool it would be to cast them in bronze. It'd be pretty easy to do. The shapes are so simple, and you just make molds and then do the lost wax technique. They're amazing. I don't know. I'm really hooked on these figures, and I keep staring at them and I just love the color. It does something for me.
Orange is my favorite color, so the orange ones always appeal to me.
Look at this guy.
Yeah.
So cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that was a delightful moment this year.
The Wonderful World of Disney.
Hey there, this is Mark.
And this is Ronnie.
And we're here to let you know that we decided to split this fairly long episode into 2
shorter episodes.
Yeah. Into 2 shorter episodes. So you're listening to the first half.
And if you want to hear the second half, which you definitely want to hear, then tune in next week. Same Cambridge and with Sean time, same Cambridge and with Sean channel.
Come back for part 2, where we get into the meat of the episode per se. Yeah. Figure that out.
Come back next week for the meat.
Today you got the buns. Ew.
That's good.
All right, that's good enough.
It's food and fun in the box.
Cambridge and with Sean is a Weirding Way Media podcast.